Chelsea pummeled by Man City at the Etihad, 4-0 defeat at the hands of Pep Guardiola's Man City. This is the Casually FC channel. I'm so demoralized. I'm not even gonna lie. Welcome to the reaction to the FA Cup tie between Chelsea and Man City. Just a quick recap of the game. We start the game off. Most of the three of the goals came in the first half. First one by a lovely free kick from Riyad Mahrez. I got to give him that. I got to rate this guy. He's a fantastic player. A few minutes later, out of I think it was a corner, right? A corner. Havertz, stupid mistake, stupid way to, I guess, jump for the ball. Gets called out for a handball. Phil Foden puts it behind the net. Then a minute later, Julian Alvarez was the one that scored the penalty. And then 8 minutes later, we have Phil Foden, who then scores for Man City. And then we go into the second half, and Riyad Mahrez gets a brace. We're looking at 4-0 Chelsea. Chelsea had 0 shots on target this game.
We had a shot though, I think.
Oh great, we have one.
Try to look at the stats here and see if I can find it.
Apparently, we had one shot on target. Apparently, I'm looking.
What was our
at
XG, Ahmed? It was 0.06.
0.09.
I can't remember the shot, but apparently we had a shot on target.
It's not good, boys.
0.09 XG, guys. Loud, have mercy.
Big up the chat. Big up Surfs. Listen, I'm glad you guys are finding other sports to enjoy.
Yeah, I need that one,
because it sucks, man. It sucks.
When does he go? Is that February?
Yeah.
I might be doing that, NTK. I might be doing that, bro. I might trying to see where we all stand with who's the shittiest of the shitty pack. But listen, this game, I'm not. Was I that invested? Look, I always want Chelsea to win. I always want Chelsea to have a good performance, right? So when it doesn't happen, it's disappointing. Especially how we played last week. But just to start things off, the lineup was I mean, you're starting with we've talked about this a million times. Havertz and Mason Mount can't be in the same lineup, and let alone Mason Mount and Gallagher be in the same lineup. That was already right there. That
Mason Mount, Gallagher, and Havertz in the same lineup.
That right there was but I mean, again, all right, let's just, you know, give Potter the benefit of the doubt, I guess, because there's 10 injuries to the team. Fine. You want to rotate players? Fine. Okay. But then, like, we get to the game, and it's just like, oh my God, man. There was like no vigor. There was no bite. Like it was just like, I felt to me, and sorry guys, I was pretty, you know, detached from this game. I'm not gonna lie. It was just a background noise at some point. After the third goal, it became background noise. So it was just like,
for me,
was rough.
For me, it was over. After 2 goals, I was like, yeah, let's relax, man.
Yeah, so it was just one of those days, like, you know, I unplugged myself, and yeah, it was just like watching Man City have a scrimmage match, a training match. They were just kicking the ball about, seeing what they could do. And we were just, you know, hanging out.
The whipping boys, man. It's the whipping boys, man. Yo, man.
Listen,
you were just a dummy. You know, like how,
pretty much.
Have you played? If you played like FIFA, but like the actual open world thing, yeah, where you can play as one player, yeah, and you can do the little free kick challenges. That's what we were today. Yeah. We were just those little like sticks that they had. We didn't move. We just let them play around.
Yeah, it's a rough one. It was a rough one today for sure. There was some positives, I guess, if you want to call it positive. Listen, let me land, all right? One positive is that we got to see Davidson, Dacho, Fofana play.
That's not a positive.
That is a positive. I wanted to see him play.
We get to see a new face play.
Yeah, it's a positive.
You keep telling yourself that, man. You keep telling yourself.
The positive was we didn't lose by 5. There we go.
That's not
sure. We didn't lose by 5 either. That's good. Yeah.
We just down bad.
The other positive, Humpherys,
the random right
Denzel
back,
Dumfries' long lost twin brother. We got to see him play. I don't even know if he played well, to be honest with you.
He didn't. He
I'm
wasn't there, man. He
so-
was ghosted.
Yeah, it was bad. Let me stop talking. Will, carry this mantle, man. What did you think about this shite game?
It's
all
laughable, I
I
know.
all I can do is laugh.
It was
just
laughable,
like-
yeah.
It somehow felt even more like a cup game than it did on the on Thursday. I felt like it wasn't. I mean, it was an actual cup game this time, but I can't even really speak on it. It was just so poor. Every player was poor. I don't want to hear any member of each Hive or player FC group try and throw one player under the bus for their favourite. Every player was crap. From, if you want to talk about Jorginho and Kovacic, I thought they were average as fuck, poor. Mount was poor. Havertz was poor. Koulibaly was poor. Kepa, whatever. Lewis Hall, I thought, had a couple of bright moments, but he was still poor overall, especially defensively. I'm not going to blame the kids too much because what do I expect from them, really?
They're not seniors, yeah.
We've got a lot of injuries, I guess. So
There's a saying that I have, yeah. We need starters, not juniors.
Yeah, the thing is, though, I'm happy that we are sort of using an approach in the market to try and buy a lot of good young talent that can be good in the future. Like, I think that Fofana guy looks decent. I've not seen him. Obviously, it's a very, 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 very small sample size we've seen him. We need to see him actually start games in the future. But he looks. I think he'll be a good player for us. Hopefully, he's a very low risk deal. That Santos player from Brazil, apparently he's very good. I want to see him get given a couple of chances this season. We've just got to be realistic with what we are at the moment. And it's a very unproven team now. It's not the Chelsea of old. It's not the Chelsea under a Tuchel, Mourinho, or Conte, Ancelotti, whatever manager you want to talk about. It's not under the other ownership. The reason why we fired Tuchel wasn't because of necessarily performances. So they're not just going to sack Potter based off of 4 months. So unless it gets really, really bad, which I don't think it will get to a point where they'll sack him. I don't think it'll get to that point. Hopefully it doesn't get to where it's desperate. So I think we've just got to be realistic and go into the market optimistic. Try and get our players that we really want, whether that's an Enzo or a Mudryk or a player like that, and then reevaluate our situation in the summer and try and build on from there. And if we are in like a year's time, Potter's got more players, and we'll see one of two ways. We either start to build as a team for the future, or we won't. And then that's at a point where you talk about the manager. For now, I think we've just got to give him a bit of time and then reevaluate our situation in the summer.
I will say, I'm really trying hard to pull out of my ass here. I will say, other positives out of this game. Lewis Hall and Chalobah played decently. They were okay.
Did they?
Even they got cooked at times, though.
They were okay, yeah. Yeah, no, they did get cooked. I mean, yeah.
At times, and they tried.
Why are you being positive for the
They
team, man?
smiled at times. That's a positive. Yeah.
Why are we?
They look
why
nice
we,
for the
why we
camera.
have to be positive for this team, man? We lost 4-0.
Well, Chris, because I know you're not gonna be. So tell me what you're thinking, Chris. Come on.
Well,
Say it with chest, Chris.
well, like we had. Well, okay, of course, but like I think obviously the lineup was like completely wrong. When you're asking like Mason Mount, Gallagher, when they're both the similar players. So Mason Mount plays attack, Gallagher plays in midfield, and you got Kai Havertz as well, right next to Mason Mount as well. Them two together up attack never works. I don't know if it's really all on Potter because let's face it, Potter has inherited a team. What's not his team,
Yeah.
and this team is, the worst injuries in top 5 leagues. Like we have so many injuries. I can list like all the players pretty much for injuries. I think I remember most of them. Like you got like Ben Chilwell is injured, so we can't use him for depth. We can't use him for an FA Cup game. We got Mendy injured. We can't even like swap Kepa out really. Let's be honest. We can't even give Mendy a chance when he's still injured. We got Reece James is always getting injured this season. Fofana's got an injury season as well again, so he's out. Kante is just always injured. And then we got Brozier, who just picked up an injury. We can't. It sounds a depressing thing, but we can't even use Brozier for like an FA Cup game and just try him up the strike.
That's depressing, man.
Ruben's been injured for like 2 months now, I think. I swear. Pulisic
That
just
brother's
pulled up
always
a knock.
injured. He's always injured, bro.
And then Pulisic just got a knock.
Wait,
from
Ruben
that,
still plays for us? I forgot he still played for
Yeah,
us.
he's just on
Whoa.
the injury bench, man. And then we
Another
got Raheem
one.
Sterling with another injury.
At least
like-
chat's here to make me happy.
Like I do like say it's not all on Potter because we have like 90 something injuries since last season, all combined, and we just added another 16. Like I seen this like all these stats, like how many injuries we have. It's not good. But Will said it, man. Everybody didn't play well. No one played well.
God
Like
damn,
we
Steve.
Oh my god.
What?
Comment.
thought John
If
Terry
y'all
was-
thought John Terry was racist before, just imagine how he is nowadays. That Koulibaly is disgracing the number 26 he built over 20 years, goated career.
Jeez.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. Continue cooking, Chris.
But yeah, like just having that team out there. I'm not sure if it's really all on Potter because, like I said, I know there's so many injuries in this team, and he does have to
True.
rotate some players up from the Premier League because we're gonna have to concentrate on the Premier League. I don't give a shit about this FA Cup. We lost 3 finals in a row with this FA Cup. I don't think we'll go win it, so I
It's
don't
fine,
care
Ma-
about the FA Cup. So
Chris, you know what Marshall's going to have to do? And this is the worst part. Marshall's
What?
going to have to put the Europa theme song on his goddamn soundboard. So,
honestly, Marshall,
Listen,
I
listen.
won't talk to you if you play that Europa League with being shameless, man.
Bro,
We're
I
not
can't
being
lie
Europa
to
League.
you,
We're
bro.
gonna have no European
fact-
competition.
Hold
Listen,
on,
Will.
man. Hold on, man. The fact that you guys even think we're gonna put the Europa League one on,
Yeah, man,
we're gonna have to
not
put the
joking.
Europa
Well,
Conference one. What
listen,
makes you guys think you're so cocky?
They're
We're
the
gonna get
same
Europa
one, Mark.
League.
We're not. Who said
They're
we're
the
gonna get
same
into
one.
Europe?
Why
Who
is
said
it-
we're gonna even get into Europe, bro? We're
Yeah.
not getting into Europe.
At this rate, I don't know what's happening, man.
Listen, we're not
I'm
getting
just gonna
into
say
Europe,
there's a big rebuild Potter and Todd Bowley have to do because we have so many injuries and so many dead wood players. We just have to get rid of. Like there's no one.
Well, I mean,
Got
I
another
thought we got
positive.
rid of the Deadwood, but ugh.
got another
Oh, you got a positive,
Marshall.
Will? Come on, man.
I
Silver
have
got
no
a
positive,
rest.
man.
Silver actually got a rest.
Oh yeah, Silva did get a rest.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? That's actually
Yeah.
well done, Will.
That's a
You
big
found
one.
it.
That's a big positive. Yes.
Oh no, this is
How
bad.
far we have fallen. Silva got a rest, and we can celebrate it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna listen. Yeah, I think it's.
Go ahead, Ahmed.
I need to. I think I need to let it loose, bro, because we need to be real, guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
we knew
Yeah.
even when Tuchel was here, for example. I'm just saying this now that he needed a rebuild. Like we needed a rebuild, whether it be in midfield, attack, etc., etc., etc. Obviously, in the summer, we were able to remove the main deadwood that were affecting the wage bill. The second part now is that we need to remove the deadwood in the actual team, the starting 11 team, if that makes sense, and then the ones around it. And that's what we need to do. And what do we? And what is that? Who are those people? Let's be real, guys. Barring Thiago Silva, Chalobah, James, Chilwell, and I would argue the new signings. And like the young G's, yeah, them kids, they all need to go, bro. They all need
I
to
mean,
go.
this actually correlates very well to what we're about to get into.
I'm just
Big
gonna
up
say,
Dark, $5
Hold on.
super chat out of the squad. Who would you keep, sell, and bench?
I'm just telling you.
We gotta pick one of each.
No. So, like you would say, so basically, what he's saying is, yeah. Let's say Havertz, for example. Would you keep Havertz? Would you sell Havertz, or would you have Havertz as a bench player? This is what it means. But let's not do bench. Let's keep and sell instead. Keep and sell. Simple as that.
All right, Marshall,
Okay.
you go through a few players then. You just name players.
No.
and we'll go through.
What I'll do? Let me go to Chelsea website and I'll just say the players in it, and then everyone can choose who they want to keep and who not want to.
All right. This is the game we're playing today. All right, Dark. Okay.
Might as well
This
make
is-
something fun out of it. You know?
Yeah,
Alright,
might as well, right?
Let me. Okay,
Chad,
let me
you got
start.
to
Are you
participate
ready?
as well.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Kepa, keep or sell?
Keep.
Keep.
Sell. All right. What about you, Marshall?
So.
Really?
I'll keep
Yeah,
him as a
because I think he's on
backup.
too high wages right now.
Yeah, it's too much.
150k. Mason Mount wants
Okay.
300k, man.
Okay, listen. All right, Edward Mendy.
So
Sell.
Sell. All right.
Alright.
You want me to
Benoit Badiashile.
Keep.
Oh, keep.
No, I'm just saying every single player.
Yeah, why not? Just
Yeah, keep.
All right, Thiago Silva. I think that's a consensus.
Sell.
Keep.
No.
Keep.
Thiago
Wait,
Silva?
what?
I think this is last year, man. I think we should let him
No, we
retire.
gotta keep him until he's 45. We're gonna need him
Jesus Christ.
Why keep him until he can't be kept?
until
All
his legs die on him, man.
All right,
I personally would let him
Do
go.
we have to shoot him like a
People saying
horse?
sell to Thiago Silva?
No, I think they're a little delayed. They're probably talking about Body Shield.
all right.
yeah.
What,
no,
they're saying sales are Buddy a shield? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think a lot of people rate Body Chile.
If you're
that's
if you're
interesting.
FM manager, you would Badishile. If you're FM manager, like me, but hey, that's why.
Yeah,
I'm
up,
There you
up.
go. We move.
yeah.
So
Listen,
Silva we
next
keep.
so Trevor
Silva.
Chalobah.
Keep.
Oh, keep.
I keep.
No,
Chalobah
I'm
for them.
just going through the whole squad in it. Yeah. Next one,
Yeah.
Keep.
Chilwell.
Keep
Keep.
for another season. If he keeps getting injured, then I'm gonna move him on.
Now I would keep, but I don't really care if he was sold. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I'd
Reece
keep
James-
him.
Next one is Reece James. You can skip that. We already have a consensus on
Yeah,
that.
keep.
That
Obviously.
shouldn't be questioned,
Sell.
man.
Yeah,
I'm just
Koulibaly.
kidding.
I'm kicking Marshall out, man.
Koulibaly.
Keep.
He's got to get better, but I guess.
I
Oh.
would say keep for the time being. We need to.
You gotta give him another season, Will. I think.
No, I'm giving him 3 more games. Keep for now.
Oh Jesus
Yeah.
Christ!
Just give it 3 more
Uh,
games. That's it.
we
have
I gotta
Kai
keep. I gotta keep
We have
Koulibaly.
Kai
I just gotta
Havertz.
give him a
We have
season
Kai
at
Havertz,
least.
man, for 3 years. We can keep
Next,
Koulibaly for him.
next up, Azpilicueta. Sell.
He has to go. As much
So,
as pains as because
yeah.
I love Azpilicueta, but it's not fair on him, man. He has to play every game, man.
Not fair on us, Chris.
It's not fair on us either. Yeah, I agree, but it's not fair on him too, man. He's suffering for our sins.
The next one is the next one is Mark Correa.
Keep.
Oh, keep.
All right.
Keep,
next
yeah.
one for Fana. Keep. I'm assuming as well.
Keep.
All right. Let's skip Bashir. He's the synology.
So Dave, yeah.
$2
I felt like that's at me, even though I took it out.
It definitely was.
All right. Now we get into a few contentious ones. Jorginho.
Oh boy.
Keep. He actually shows up for work and does an alright job.
It depends on who we sign. If we sign someone like, if we need to get rid of him to bring in someone better, then sell. But I'll keep for now.
If he's gonna be a future bench player for us, and he's on
I don't mind him staying as a backup.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he needs to.
As a backup.
I gotta say keep for the same reasons.
Yeah, if he for
He
backup,
actually,
yeah.
can
Next
show up.
one-
Plus, he is a reliable. I think he's a reliable player, and
Yeah.
he does offer a lot. So keep. Yeah, keep.
All right, next one, N'Golo Kante.
So,
Keep for now. For now, I'd keep.
All right.
actually,
I
I
would
have to see
say-
after the surgery because the
So-
surgery, if he does actually like stay, off the injury bench and comes off from the bench
So-
and helps us out, then yeah, like
I
hard to
I
say,
just
man.
think we can definitely make something out of N'Golo Kante.
You know
now
what,
while
if
we can, 'cause the
Kante cut
name
your
still
wages to
weighs
half,
something.
cut your wages to like Jorginho's wages, and then
Well, apparently, well, we'll talk about this on Sunday, but apparently the new contract negotiations are going pretty well, and he's being offered give or take the same amount that he's making now. So
The
shouldn't
next
be that
one,
much anyway.
the next
extension,
one,
kind of.
the next one. Let's go for the next one, Mateo Kovacic.
Keep.
keep.
Ruben Loftus Cheek.
Oh god, that's
Damn,
a
he cheeks.
that's a hard sell, man.
He's
Are you really considering keeping that guy?
He's a sell, yeah.
He
Marshall-
can't work
Marshall's
out
very
any
good.
manager.
Marshall's-
Tuchel was like his
Marshall's
best hope, but
Hey, Slens,
Yeah.
if you're listening, Slens, where's that tattoo? I expect to see that.
what tattoo?
Remember, we made a wager a long time ago that if in that season, last season, he played more than like 30 appearances or something in all something like that, he would have gotten that tattoo. I gotta check back the receipts.
You need to get that tattoo, man.
All right. This
Yeah, I
is
need
a
to
big
check the
one.
receipt. I'm
This
gonna
is-
wait. Hold on. I never answered. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say,
So
fuck me. I'm gonna have to say keep. I think he's useful as a utility. I think he's useful as a utility player. Listen, I think he's useful as a utility player. I'm sorry, guys. I let you down. I'm sorry. Listen,
He's
you
what?
can say
He's
it's
a
a
utility
howler. I
player
might
on
be
the
wrong.
where?
You are
As a bench
trolling,
player,
bro.
as a bench player, you know.
Okay,
I'm
The
just-
bench on the
I'm just
on the
saying.
injury bench or taking good care of
I
his
will
knees?
keep Loftus Cheek on the bench.
It's-
That's my. Yeah.
Marshall's shameless, but fair enough.
All right. Next
Yes,
guy, he is very contentious. Number 19, Mason Minerals Mount.
Fucking sell that motherfucker. please. Sell him so fast.
This guy
He
wants to
doesn't
keep
deserve
Ruben Loftus-Cheek
over
myself up,
150k.
yo.
So
Okay, hold on. Ruben Loftus-Cheeks is more useful than Mason Mount this
no, he
season.
ain't. I'm sorry.
What do you mean? No, he's not.
No,
What do you mean? No, he's not.
listen,
Come
listen,
on, bro.
Listen,
I-
listen,
I-
See how many
don't-
touches Mason Mount had in this
Don't
game?
go that
You tell me
way.
Ruben can have
How
more?
How many touches is
Marshall-
Ruben having?
No. Listen. Yeah, Marshall
I think
is
Mount
doing, yeah.
scored a few goals. Like,
Listen,
come on.
you know Marshall, yeah.
A
Marshall
few. He scored. All right.
Marshall
All
is
right.
doing.
No, you're right. He
Marshall-
scored three.
Mar-
He scored three.
Marshall's doing a South Park meme, yeah, which is like, yeah, it's a douchebag vs like a turd. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's a douche vs a turd. That is literally what you're comparing right now, bro.
Guys in chat. Wait, guys in chat. I have to ask you a genuine question. Do you guys think I'm way too harsh on Mason Mount, or is my criticism of him
You're
like
not
actually
too harsh. You're not
great?
really too harsh, but comparing to Loftus-Cheek is too harsh.
Yeah, man. Like you
This
keep Ruben,
year-
I
but
don't know,
not
man.
Mount.
I feel like Ruben provides so much more in the midfield than Mason Mount does.
His time's
I'm
done here,
sorry.
Marshall. He's the Jesse Lingard of like Chelsea.
He's
Sure,
not a
yeah,
Lingard.
maybe.
Listen, Lingard won Man United trophies, bro. What's Ruben
Well, he
Loftus-Cheek
didn't
won?
win shit for him, man.
Yeah,
He
scored
actually
in
scored
the-
an FA Cup final
Yes,
for us.
yes, he
actually.
has. Yes, he has. That's
Wait,
I'm
what?
saying.
He scored an FA Cup final for them, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I
he
don't
did.
remember that. Yeah, FA Cup's a trashy trophy anyway.
And he
man,
won
it's
the
nothing.
Community Shield for
What do you
them.
mean I don't have the same energy for fucking Havertz? Yes, I do.
You don't.
This guy.
You
Yes,
You
I
don't
do.
actually. And for
Yeah.
Ziyech.
You put
Yo,
Kai Havertz
You're
on that
about
like
to get
higher
Alex
tier,
in. You're
like
about to get Alex in here, bro. With some of the stuff he's saying, mate.
I'll come back and defend
I-
myself.
I
But yeah,
would-
for
I
me,
would
it's a
keep-
hard sell for Mason Mount.
I'm keeping him out on the bench. Like,
I'm
keep
going
him
to keep him
rotational.
for now. I'll keep him for now. We'll see. We'll reevaluate the situation.
Me
I would
will
say-
agree a lot.
I personally, you know, Mount,
Don't get too comfortable, Chris. I'm coming for you on a lot of these takes, okay?
Listen, Mount,
What
listen,
takes?
Mount,
Hey,
You
what
know.
takes?
Mount, Mount was good while it was last. It was good while it lasted, bro. But it's time to move on. All right. Next one for me. Next one is Dennis Zakaria.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
difficult.
So
Buy.
far, I'm gonna say
Buy. Let's
keep.
buy him.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck it, keep. Fuck
I
it.
would say keep for the time being. I need more data on him. Need more data. Need more matches to see him. Number.
Well, the thing is, he's 20 million. He's dirt cheap, and his wage ain't that high. I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, just
Yeah.
buy him. Fuck it. What could go
he's
wrong?
more useful
Yeah.
and.
I mean, a
Ruben
lot
Loftus-Cheek.
could go wrong, actually. A lot could go wrong. He
I
could
can
get
disagree with
injured
that.
and then
He is.
be out forever.
Yeah, the next one that we've got is Conor Gallagher.
Sell,
Oh
sell,
my God,
sell,
yes,
sell,
sell.
sell, sell. Actually,
Bro,
no,
you know what's
no.
crazy?
You
You
know
know what's
what?
crazy? We were sold such a dream last season with Conor
No, we
Gallagher. I was like,
weren't.
oh, this
No, we
guy might
weren't.
actually be better than Mason Mount. He's actually
Will
worse
Will
than
wasn't,
Mason
man.
Mount.
Will did not rate him before.
Thank you.
Will was
I didn't
saying
think that
Gallagher,
was
I would sell.
possible.
Marshall,
He's
Marshall.
actually
Can I
worse
say-
than Mason
Can I say
Mount.
this, yeah?
Will
I've
saw
watched,
through him.
I've watched Conor Gallagher since 2019 when he signed for Charlton on loan. And even in the Championship, he still showed these flaws. He's a very good runner. He's got a decent eye for goal. That is what you get with Conor Gallagher.
Yeah.
He's a good player at a low-tier team. Like when he was at West Brom, he played quite well. At Palace, he did all right. That's his level.
Mhm.
And that's just it.
That's
Alright,
horrible,
then-
man.
Then listen, man, this AC Milan derby is hitting right now. I can't lie to you, but still, but
Hey, don't
Uh,
disrespect Brendan Aronson. I just saw that Brendan Aronson's a lot better than.
Harrison is
yeah.
not bad, you know. Yo, this is Harrison is quality, bro. Let's not lie to ourselves. All right. The next one that we're gonna talk about, okay, Aubameyang, sell. I'm assuming.
Sell
Yeah,
Southie. I wanted
because
him
he
to
doesn't
do well.
fit us.
I was
Um,
actually for him.
So,
not-
yeah. I feel like
Pulisic,
It's not all his
Yeah.
fault though.
Pulisic,
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, what do you think about
I'm
Pulisic?
actually gonna. It's so tough. It's so tough.
I just think so, bro. It's just the injuries are killing this guy, bro. I can't
Mm.
rely on him to be like a
Wow,
starter,
come
bro.
on,
I
ban
can't
him
rely-
before now.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna
I-
say I'm on the edge, but I'd say keep for now. But I'm on the edge still.
If I'm basing it
Okay.
off of this season, I probably would say keep.
I would say so.
He
bro,
hasn't
as
been
well.
too bad.
I think for me, the problem for me is not even like his talent ID. I just think the availability now is becoming too much of a problem. We can't rely
I'm
on
not
him.
saying sell Pulisic. He ain't
Yeah.
on the
He
table
got
yet.
injured. This is his first injury since January of last year.
True, but
I'm
the
pretty
only
sure.
the thing is with the context is he hasn't really played consistently until now.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he does play consistently, gets injured. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see it. Yeah.
See what I mean?
I
You see,
keep-
that's the problem. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Then I would probably say sell. Then never mind.
Yeah,
I'll change
yeah.
my mind. Sell.
Yeah.
Sell.
All right, so the next one, Sterling. Let's not talk about him. Broha, no. Ziyech.
Wait. I think
What?
we should talk about Sterling.
Oh,
I'd keep.
Well,
I think it's
Oh,
keep
you're
ready.
coming right after me, bro. Jesus Christ.
I thought it was keeps to be honest with Sterling,
Yeah.
but anyway.
Sterling, I would keep.
Listen,
I'd
we
keep
really
as
got
well.
we got 2 more left. Marshall's number one fanboy. You know what I mean? Hakim, the Wizard of Amsterdam. Yeah, Ziyech. You know what I mean? Sold up, brother, to Ajax right
he's
now,
no
bro.
wizard in
Brother.
England though.
Mate, he ain't the Wizard of Battersea. He ain't the Wizard of Chelsea, mate. He ain't no wizard around there, fam. I can tell you that for sure.
Listen. I have been touting to have Ziyech sold because he doesn't want to be at this club. Okay, you know, if he doesn't want to be at this club, he's not going to put his all into it. You got to sell him. But that's not to say
Can you
that
blame him?
Chelsea have blood on their hands for how bad he's been at Chelsea. Okay, I'm not going to put it all on Ziyech either. Chelsea have a lot to blame for him being bad too.
He literally had to play Mason Mount in attack with him and Gallagher right behind him. Like
Do
You gotta
He
play
wants
with
to leave,
David
man.
Aspilicueta, bro, and
Do you
this man
guys
is
Hey,
helping
leave
him
that
push
out,
out.
man.
do you guys think that that the reason why Ajax fans think he's good is because they smoke a bit too much weed? Do you think that's why?
It's like the same scenario like with English fans, man. When you see Mason Mount, they drink too much beer. Yeah, like the
Man,
stuff
what too many Carlsbergs, yeah? Before
He's
the
had too
game,
many. They had too many splits,
too
man.
many Stellas, yeah? Too many Stellas before the game.
Too many Stellas.
Nah, man, listen. No, man, I don't even think it's a weed thing for them because there's only like 5 grams they can buy from like a calf. I'm pretty sure, so, as I've been there before.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you
But
can only buy like a maximum of 5 grams there, so I'm just letting you know. Yeah, so
that's nothing. That's
yeah, so it's
nothing.
not that
Where
much.
I
So it's not
am,
much.
that's nothing.
I know it's nothing over there, but yeah. So listen, man. Listen. Ziyech, go back to Amsterdam. Do your little fake wizardry in the Eredivisie, bro. Like we don't care.
I have to say sell him just because it's not going to work out at this club anymore. Even though he's been playing lately. No, even though he's been playing lately, which is good for him. And yo, watch. You know what? You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen. Reece James is gonna come back, and he's actually gonna wizard. He's gonna do the wizard
stop
thing.
it, man,
Watch.
stop it,
Watch.
saying that
But that depends if he doesn't go in January. So.
All right. The last person we're gonna talk about is the German, the silky German. You know what I mean?
say keep.
Kai Havertz.
Wait, really?
Yeah. What?
I didn't expect you to say that.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
really.
be-
I thought this was gonna be me versus the world saying keep.
No, I'd keep him. There's no
I'm
reason
gonna
to
be-
really do sell him
I
right
am.
now.
I think for me, listen, Bayern is sniffing around. You can get, a good amount of money there, and you can probably replace him with some better quality players. And in my opinion, it's time to go, Havertz. Thank you for the second Champions League, but it's time to go, bro. It's time to go, bro. He's not hacking it, bro. Like I would have thought, and this is like his 3rd season, especially in the Premier League, that he would have known by now. He needs a little bit more physicality, maybe a bit more training there to allow him to do what he needs to do as the false 9. But no, bro, he's still doing the same shit, the same mistakes again. And at some point, bro, it goes beyond the manager, and that's on you, bro. You're not willing to change your game.
I think it depends on like what offers we get on the table and who we're linked with. Like, I'm not saying he's untouchable or anything, but
No, yeah, of course. He's
No,
definitely not.
for me, like, there's no evidence really to like say we'd get a good deal for him, or there's like people lined up. I feel like a lot of people get onto him sometimes a little bit unfairly. I'm not saying he's not been bad at times, but I'd keep him for now.
If we can sign for 50 million or more, sell him.
I still think 50 is a bit cheap. I can't even
You
lie.
reckon?
I'm looking for 70.
Yeah, I'm
We
looking to get my
bought
money
him.
back.
Make back what you bought.
Yeah, I'm looking for that. His
Yeah.
CV,
We ain't got
whether we
Marino
like
no
it
more,
or
I'm
not,
sorry.
whether we like it or not, his CV is a lot better now. He's
Yeah.
Champions League, and people like that does matter. Like, it does add to your
And then
value.
look at his like stats and everything, and like data and all
But
that.
then
Oh,
stats
shit.
can be taken out of context, Chris. Like, it's, you know.
Oh, I can't
Hold
hear.
on, Kai. All right, no, that's fine.
That's
stop
how
your
this
thing.
this is how bad this performance was. This performance, yeah, we played today. This is how bad it is. We're talking about keeping Salin. We're not talking about
Yeah.
how bad
Yeah.
we did, and because there's
I mean,
nothing
we'll
really
come
much
back
talk
to
about.
it. We'll
Yeah, I
definitely
know.
come back to it, but it's just like with Havertz, there's a lot of factors here. Is he having a good season? No. Is he having a terrible season? Kinda.
He's on the border. He's on the
it's-
border.
He's on the border, right? Like,
Yes.
it's not saying much either, but he's definitely having a better season than Gallagher. He's having a better season than Mason. And we know that second half of the season, he usually picks it up. But this is what I was saying on the Discord, which, by the way, guys, if you haven't checked it out already, linked in the description below. Join our Discord. We have active discussions, active forums, and all that stuff happening over there. So by all means, you can get to talk to us. You can watch some of the games with us. It's a fun little place where you can have a bunch of activities outside of this channel. But back to what I was saying. With Havertz, I feel like there's a lot of factors here. One, he's a victim of Chelsea not having good enough quality where now there's an over reliance on this kid. Like if no, but hear me out. If we had Odegaard in the team, if we had Cesc, or if we had like a proper striker that would actually put goals away, Havertz doesn't really start. He's on the bench and he comes off as a bench, as he should have been. From the very beginning, he should have been a bench player that slowly gets integrated into the team and slowly proves himself over time, right? That was supposed to happen with Romelu Lukaku. It didn't, unfortunately. So that's one thing. The second thing I think with Havertz is that I think he just doesn't benefit from our attack. We don't have good attackers that can finish chances when he helps create some chances. And there's also the other factor of him and Mason Mount playing at the same exact time. When we noticed how bad he was today, but when you compare his performance last game against Man City when there wasn't a Mason Mount, there's a pretty stark difference. So it's hard for me to just say like, oh, sell him, because I think we all can say to a certain extent there is a good player there. But it's the same thing with Ziyech. There's a good player there, but I just think maybe at Chelsea it's not going to work out.
It's
at least not with this squad.
With like a lot of players in our squad.
And I said this on Discord too, like we could bring a Neymar to this team. And I think that Neymar would go from world class to a top class player because the quality around him is just going to suffer and hinder his ability.
You got to build a core.
To what? From good players to shit players, what we have now? Just the clearies like from average players to just completely crap. Marshall, I think you guys are finding too many excuses for these guys, to be honest.
Well, it's not an excuse really. I mean, if like what you guys said though, like what you guys said earlier, if 50 million comes on the table, even 40 million for Havertz, I'd probably want to sell. It sucks, but I probably want to sell as much as I want it to work
40 million, I'm telling them to stick it and to pay up more. If you're a big club and you want a player.
With what right though? You know what I mean? Like
they will tell you what for a player who scored 4 goals.
40 million is cheap. That's what like clubs. That's what like poor clubs like. Fucking. I say they're poor. They're not
Leipzig.
poor. They're kind of
they're not poor,
but yeah, but you get what I mean. Like that's I don't know.
Like if he keeps performing like just basically average or just poor again for another season, I think there's definitely a talk where he should be going.
Like what is this discussion about? Are you discussing the game or are you discussing in general?
We was discussing the game.
We're gonna come back to the game, but we just went through the whole team and discussed who we'd sell and who we'd buy, and we're on the last one, which is Havertz.
Everybody but Reese, man. Here, save your minutes, bro.
I already said that, man. That's what I've been saying, to be honest. And some of the new signings, I would give them a chance. But other than that, bro, they can all go.
Chance.
I just
the new signings are gonna come in now, innit? So, like, of course, I would give them a chance in it for me. But the other ones, rest in peace, bro. Rest in peace.
It just stinks because, like, I feel like if we had the same team we had years ago with Drogba, Lampard, Essien, and all those players, and we brought in a Havertz.
You don't need to go that back. You don't need to go that back. You can just go to the 14-15 team, man. They had a lot more balls on this team, man. They came from behind so many times in the game.
Which is why I'm saying, like, if we had brought a talent like Havertz back then, maybe it would have worked out. Because now I feel like people don't rate Havertz because, like, unfortunately, he's one of our few options.
Yeah, but you know why I don't like this? You know why I don't like this? Because Hazard came to us through a transitional season as well.
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
And our team wasn't as better than it was back then when Hazard came in. But yet
we finished sixth that season.
Yeah, he formed himself.
Hazard still had really quality players around him, though.
No, we had a lot of fucking issues in that team. A lot. It cost a lot less than this one, man.
Yeah, especially.
I think you guys are trying to find excuses for Havertz. You guys are trying to find excuses for Mount. But the reality is, you guys are not that good.
When you say you guys, just me. It's just me, really.
No, not you, Marshall. I'm not saying you. There's a lot of people who are, and me, including me, right? Because I used to rate Havertz highly. I still have his shirt. And I
Yeah,
have a shirt for you that I need to send to you as well. So I have a shirt. So I have two Havertz shirts, right? So I'm not like hating on the guy, but the reality is, for me, Chelsea will always come first, right?
Yeah.
'Cause from what I've seen with these guys, I just don't think it matters who comes in, because they just don't fit the way that the team is, man. It's that simple, man. And it's not only our team. I just think the league is not for them, man. This league is very fast paced, man, and they make decisions very, very slowly.
I do agree with that. Yeah, like they
I
wait
just-
way too long.
The thing that like kind of has me like holding on is that I see the stark differences on how he plays when Mason Mount isn't in the team. And as much as I don't want to pin the team's problems on one player, because I'm trying not to be overly harsh and overly critical on just Mason Mount, this season has been actually like such an eye-opener when we see like how much he's digressed as a player. Mason Mount has, like, the fact that the team actually suffered when he plays.
Imagine the world where people want to keep Jorginho and said that Kai Havertz is shit.
Oh, my
Imagine the world.
I
What
want
you mean?
for me, the three I would get rid of right now, right, is Jorginho, Mount, Havertz. I would get rid of all three of them in the summer if I could. And maybe
I-
Get rid of
I-
Jorginho.
I'd rather keep Jorginho.
Yeah, I think
like,
Jorginho it's time,
matured.
man. I like
Look,
Jorginho.
I'm not
but I
saying
think for me-
Jorginho should be playing every game, but like even just
Yeah,
as
but
a
even
squad
with
player.
Jorginho, right? Like, I'm not a Jorginho hater. Everybody knows this about me. But
Yeah,
at the same
yeah.
time, he's not the
Jorginho-
same Jorginho from the
No,
Champions
yeah.
League. He's not. He's a lot
He's
slower.
I'm
No,
not a
he's-
Jorginho hater either. I just
He's
think
in
he's
sharp.
shit.
Yeah.
No, you're hating for Scott, man.
No man, you blame global warming on that guy, man.
Nah, listen.
I'll be honest, like, if I had to sell some players, it would probably be Havertz, Mount, and Aspie.
I know.
I
don't
Aspie's
know.
not-
What money
you
you gotta
also-
get
Aspie's
for
an
Aspie,
automatic
bro?
You
thing. I
also
don't even
said,
need to speak
you
about
also
him, man.
said
I want
Marshall,
to
Robin
as well.
Loftus-Cheek deserve a chance.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah,
that's
see,
Marshall.
I saw
Yeah,
Ruben
see, I
at-
told
I
you,
think-
Marshall. You gotta.
I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek is more useful than Mason Mount in this team. I'm sorry.
No.
I think Mason Mount is more useful than Jorginho in this team.
Who said Jorginho, man? We're talking
Yeah.
about
Jorginho didn't,
not
bro.
competition.
I don't agree with that at all, man.
I think none of them are leading.
Mason Mount can't even do the basic things. Like, Mason Mount can't even pass it back, man. Like,
Well, do you
fucking
think something?
damn.
Do you think something has bothered him though? Do you think like there's something in his life, or do you think he just got used to that spot that he doesn't care anymore about his life?
Wait, Mason?
Yeah, because in the last, even with under Tuchel, he was extremely consistent, man.
Maybe he
For the
needs
last
to get
2 years.
laid. I don't know. Like, fuck. I
Nah,
have no
seriously,
idea
man,
what's
I don't know
wrong with
what's
this
wrong
kid.
with him, man.
Since last season and this season, he looks like he's more burnt because he literally plays like every game. I don't know why, but he just does. And I'm
Yeah, but
going to mention the guy.
Let me ask you. You don't want to even keep Mount as a bench player?
No, I just want to
I
keep
would,
him as a
I
bench
would.
player.
Yeah,
Bench
I
player
would.
for me. Bench.
Nah, I want to see him either
And that's my point.
another team, man.
People
What?
saying Robin Loftus-Cheek deserves to be in this team on the bench.
No, you don't. No, we don't.
But
think-
Mason
you know
Mount,
what it-
not a lot. But
You know what the
Talk
fact
to
is-
Marshall on that. Talk to Marshall.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. You know what the factor is too? There's a factor of the fan base that comes along with it. I think that's a lot of it too. Like, I
It's
just
funny that you think I
I-
like Mount.
I can't state. No, I'm not saying you like Mount. I don't know who said that, but whoever said that, you're an idiot. Like, it's just, I can't stand the Mason Mount fan base. I really can't. It's gotten to the
They're-
point where it's such a volatile
Welcome to my life,
and
bro. Welcome to my life.
and splitting thing in it's not even just Twitter. It spills over into like the rest of football. Like, I don't have Twitter and I hear about it all the time. It's actually so crazy how
Yes, you do. You have
like
a burner account,
reverberating
man.
the Mason Mount stuff is. I don't.
I don't know who Texas Blue is. Sorry, but like he's hitting with bangers. You know, Mama likes to play. On the keyboard. I don't know who he is, but shout out to him.
See, like, at least like with fucking Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he can play the left wing back, he can play the right back,
Oh, yo,
or
stop
the
it,
right
bro,
wing
stop
back.
it, man.
He can play the cam.
That
He
guy,
can play as a
you know
DM.
he's on higher wages than Mount right now. He's on higher wages than Mount right now. He's on.
I feel like
150K a
we're
week.
forgetting how useful Ruben Loftus-Cheek is because he hasn't been in the team for a minute now. Like, he's definitely more useful than Mason Mount. I think.
Marshall, you know the saying, even a broken clock is useful once a day, man. You know that
Twice
saying?
a day, but
Yeah,
that's
twice a
not
day,
even
yeah.
Mason Mount. Mason Mount doesn't
No,
even have
that's Ruben
arms to
Loftus-Cheek,
fucking
bro. That's
have
Ruben
validity on,
Loftus-Cheek.
man. Yeah, and look, I get it. It's not. It's just I probably should be selling off these players and getting better players, anyways. But it's just not the situation. It's depressing right now, man. It's a really hard time. It's like the Great Depression of Chelsea right now. I feel like I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'm having a worse time now as a Chelsea fan than I was during the Frank Lampard time.
It does feel
No,
like that right
no,
now.
not that bad.
shit!
does.
Not that bad. Man.
don't?
What about Andres
We're
Villas
going down to
Boas?
10th, Kai, or whatever.
What
even
about
lower.
before? What about trying to be Chelsea fan before Abramovich came?
That was probably rough. That was
Actually,
probably
that's
Well,
not true. That's not
No,
true. Before
because like in
Abramovich,
the
we
90s and
finished
everything,
fourth. Yes,
That's
we
not
finished
what I'm
fourth.
saying. There is more years than just 1 year before Abramovich, Kai.
Yeah, I
There's
know.
more
but
years than 1 year.
That's I started watching 2003.
depending
bro, so
what
that's all
year
I'm saying.
Okay,
you
the
look at.
the Chelsea did not start it in 2000, whatever that you started.
Nicolas,
But the
Alex, I know, man.
90s
yes.
I
as
know,
well.
man.
Around the 90s as well was decent.
But even before Abramovich, we didn't have this shit, man. Like it's the first time we got knocked out of a cup competition in January since 35 years, bro.
I'm
First
actually
time.
okay with that.
I'm okay too. I'm happy.
Yeah, Chris, I know you're happy because you're a loser, bro.
No. You don't give a shit about the FA Cup
no,
too.
no.
Don't even say that. You don't
Yeah,
even
but-
care about it.
But it's more about just.
See
it's
what's
not only
funny?
about the
Both
FA
of
Cup.
us said it.
All I
but
care
because
about is
Chris
not losing 4. I
losing.
don't want to lose like 4.
But boys,
I just want out the FA Cup, man.
But it's not really
Me
about the
and,
FA
me
Cup
and Chris
individually,
said
right?
we're
It's
both
about the whole
happy that
thing.
we get out. But
It's
he
about
called
the
Chris
whole
a
thing.
loser.
I know.
That's
both
right.
Alex is a loser too, bro. Both of you are losers. Because you want to get like knocked out from a competition, bro. Why?
Right, you got called a loser now.
I don't like the FA Cup, right? But as a whole picture of what's happening right now for us, I think it's
This
worrying,
is what
man.
critical thinking is. You said that the Chelsea is more important than players. This is exactly what it is
Alex,
with the FA
by
Cup.
the way, what do you think about the Potter comments? Since I know you love his press conferences, bro.
Which
You
one?
hear,
I didn't
you heard
listen.
the one? You heard the one today?
I heard.
Marshall, read them to Alex, man. I want to see Alex's reaction to.
I don't know which one. where. I don't,
Go to
Read,
Popeyes.
read it to Alex. Nobody heard of it but you.
Pie-
Oh,
He's
PYS.
Yeah, he
You-
normally
yeah.
tweets about it. Like he
He loves
finds
his
everything.
comments, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Yeah, go to
Then he
Pies.
starts talking about Tuchel afterwards, isn't it?
You'll die, man. You'll die.
Could we mention something? Actually, no. I'll say it after I read some of these comments. Like, let's-
You want me to say it or you? You say it, man. You have the American accent,
Before
bro.
Roman Abramovich,
Okay.
I'm
said
pulling it up
he-
right now. It's up here.
All right, go.
Let's
We won the
see.
Super Cup. We won the FA Cup. We won a bunch of trophies, but not Premier League. You're right. And we were
Wait,
top
are
14.
these all his comments?
Now we're top 10. Bowley, bro. Alex, remember when they said Bowley's gonna be better than Roman Abramovich, bro?
And I
Well-
cried and I cried and I cried when they said that.
I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
he's better.
Kai, if you
but
can
I'm not
find
gonna
them,
call
you
him
can
shit.
say them because I can't. I don't see
Okay.
quotes here on PYS.
PYIs.
It's way too
Oh,
soon
he
to
just-
say like.
Probably the videos. I see the videos, but
No. He's
Videos.
crying in those videos, man. He's talking about Potter's not good enough, and then he talks about I remember Tuchel's days. Tuchel, he wasn't that good enough.
I don't
and
think
his
Potter
errors.
is good enough, but I'll give him until the end of the season.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying to you,
I
bro.
think he has to have the summer transfer and then see how he starts off from there, and then.
yeah, exactly. I want to see what happens next season.
Because I'm not convinced. I don't trust Potter. I'm not convinced by Potter, but I also understand that Potter's also inherited a horrible team, I think, and the worst injury team.
I don't know if they were horrible, man. We finished third before he left, but
No, but like we keep picking up as well injuries as well. Like,
But
and that's
wait,
just,
like, here's the
that's
thing.
a big factor as well for me.
Here's the thing that bothers me about Potter so far is the fact that, like, bro, you have better quality players, but you're doing better with the less quality players that you had at Brighton. And I know some factors are like maybe some players don't respect his opinion, other players just don't want to follow his tactics. Like, I get that, but it's just like you would expect some.
Can you please what he did against Chelsea when you're saying that we had the better players than the Brighton? What was the Brighton did to us last time we played them? Better players.
Oh
than
yeah,
Brighton.
they beat us. They
we
beat
finished
us.
above them.
So
But yeah, exactly. Well, we finished above them, but you would think, like, on paper, player by player, like, we have the better quality players.
Yeah.
And look at what's happening
there's
with
different
Cucurella.
kinds of papers, Marshall. Some papers are to wipe your hands, some to wipe your ass.
But there's
I don't
another
know what that
example
means,
too,
man.
Alex. Look at Cucurella. Cucurella was their player of the season last season. We're bringing this player and the same manager, and even he's underperforming. So
Yeah,
there's something
because
going
it's
on in
more
this
than just
team.
one player. This is the problem that people don't understand the game. You bring the
But where is this
player. You bring the player. I don't care how many players you bring. If I don't see them play together, I don't care. You don't have to bring this 100 million $8 player. You can bring $8 million player. It depends what kind of system you want to play. And you see, and like I said, I always judge by section. I judge defense as a section. I don't judge individual. I judge individual faults, individual mistakes, but how the goal gets, that's kind of stuff, I judge by the section. So, and that's how actually managers, if you ever been in a training room, when you watch the video of previous games that you play, there's no individual calling out. When I was little, when I was young, we're sitting in a video room, and the manager saying this is how we concede it. And it starts, do you see where we lost the possession? You see what this player should have done, this player should have done to cut that angle. Yeah, saying this. So he's like, okay, we went from this position to this position. Basically, he's explaining we did two mistakes. We lost the possession here. The safety midfield did not help. It was nowhere near to be found. So he's telling midfield, those two should have been close and blah, blah, blah. Then he goes to the defensive part and it breaks down the structure, because the game is the angles. The game is angles. The game is this basic geometry. You cut the angle, you cut the breakthrough. Same thing. So sometimes goals are based on individual qualities. So no matter how good your line is, how good it is, some players just really good, and it's technically impossible to defend against them. But that's not the problem. The problem is we have individual players from different way, but too many players play specific way. So individuals in this team, like Cucurella, that's not how you look at the game. You look at the game in a general, like from the eye view, from the eye, how you say it, from the
Bird's eye.
Bird's eye view, yeah.
You need to look at that game, especially with the new managers. If you look at the game for the new manager based on individuals, you will have people saying Robin Loftus-Cheek deserves to be in the squad and Mason Mount is not. Because from that individual, that tunnel vision that most of people have, that never been in a training room, when the breakdown of a system, it doesn't go by individual, it goes by system. You break the system, individuals will look like they imbeciles. That's how it is. If the system is not working, that's the problem. I see slightly start to see what Potter does. And people are making fun of it, saying like, how you saying that, not people, you specifically, Marshall, you said that how is that better quality players that we have do not play as well as the players that actually supposedly have less quality? I'll tell you another thing. How it's possible that the players that used to play for Chelsea from the first minute to 90 minutes last couple of seasons, all of a sudden play horribly compared to the guys that Lewis Hall. It's because you look at individual things, like he will do something, it will catch your eyes, and that's it. You look at, you forget it. But you don't see where Jorginho is. You don't see where the other player is at specific situation. And that's my problem with Jorginho. Because when I break the system, I come to individuality. And that's the problem. You break the system by a specific way. And every time you break the system, there's only one player that comes out of it. Because it's a safety. Like in the football, he's a safety. In the NFL, if anybody watching, he's a safety. He's supposed to read. He's reading it, but the problem is he has a handicap sticker on his front of a car. That's it.
So, like, I'm gonna read these comments that you guys sent me in a minute. But like, do you think that part of the reason that the system that Potter's trying to instill is failing with some of these players is because of the players that we had under Tuchel, and maybe this idea that's ingrained with Tuchel about keep possession, don't take the risky pass, don't progress forward, keep possession. It's like this idea of possession football is still ingrained in the club. You think that's part of the reason?
I can answer that.
I'm back.
Go ahead, Kai.
I just think he didn't really show proof that he can implement it in any other team other than Brighton, I'm not saying that it's his fault that we are in the situation that we are, but there is no sample that he can actually do it in another club that isn't Brighton. He only done it with one club. And the other one is what? In Norway or in Sweden? I can't remember exactly where it is. But for his sake and our sake, I hope the best for him. I don't know where that is gonna come from. I'm not really convinced, but I hope he proves me wrong.
I'm actually look. The only thing, like I said, he doesn't have as much time as he thinks he is to implement what he wants. I don't think that's the biggest concern for me now.
You think that he doesn't have enough time? Like they're saying they're gonna back him. Even
how much time, bro? How much time?
Hold on a second. It's not that. Even for example, look, Chad Ball is only 20% of the owners of the Chelsea.
Yeah.
20%. There's still a lot of different billionaires that he has to answer to. I understand Todd Bowley has a patience. Does the guy beside him has it? Same patience as Todd Bowley. Does the guys that other 80%, whoever, how many, you know what I'm saying? Does those guys have a patience? You see what I'm saying? I think for Potter, for the best to succeed, he needs a couple of windows, but I don't think. Look, you even as bad as people think we are, it could go worse. But the problem we could go worse. We won 3 out of 7 games in Premier League. Not Premier League. 3 out of 10 games last. In this kind of scenario, the relegation, it's not gonna be like in far sight. What's gonna happen then? You see what I'm saying? I don't think it would be. I think we will slightly adjust and slightly gonna be better. But I actually think that there is more than just the Harry Potter. I think individual players are just not working anymore.
I don't disagree with that. I think there are some individual players that are causing a lot of problems for Potter and what he's trying to implement as well. And being that Potter is still, he's not like that. That's where the personality, I think, comes into effect, is that like, if this was a Jose, if this was a Ancelotti, if this was, Tuchel, I feel like some of these players would have more respect for what Potter's trying to do. I think that is a factor, that there are some experienced players that they don't really care for what Potter has to say or what tactics. And maybe they think that, we saw it with Tuchel and Pulisic a little bit, where Pulisic came out and said like, oh, Tuchel told me to do this, but I disobeyed him and I did this and we ended up winning the game, which is good for you. How many times did you try that and it didn't work out? You know what I mean? Like I'm sure there's a bunch of players that don't want to stick to a tactic.
Those kind of comments make you sit on a bench.
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's something that's happening with Aubameyang right now too, because in the beginning with Potter,
handshake? After this, I didn't see any handshake. Sub last game versus City, because there was an injury. Pulisic injured. What's his name?
Sterling as well. Yeah.
Well, when Aubameyang came in, he was the first sub too. So he came late and he was a sub. And when he was coming out, he did not shake Potter's hand. Potter leaned into. And I'm not saying that Potter did wrong or Aubameyang. That's nothing to do with it. I'm just saying that there is a deterioration in the dressing room. And I can feel it.
So,
the question
is also
though,
like Potter doesn't seem like the type that will stand up for himself either. Like this emotional I think he's trying to get in everyone's nice side and good books, but there's some players that like, even I didn't mind when Tuchel and Alonso had a falling out. At least there was a clash. There was a personality there, Like, have some respect for yourself.
The thing is, though, Marshall, even if he, let's say, totally the nicey guy, right? I don't know when he's speaking of the owners or the co-owners, those are the guys you can speak frank with and tell them, listen, this guy's not good enough, this guy's not good enough, this guy's not good enough, sell them. Yeah. You can say that to him if that's the case.
Here's the Dick Clared asking me, why does Potter keeps playing those players? Well, maybe because the first 11 are injured.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, I think that was pretty self-explanatory, Declare. I didn't want to actually.
But if you don't know that, Declare,
You have Ben
From you.
Chilwell injured. You have Mendy injured. You had Reece James injured. That's 2 fullbacks injured. Then you got our new signing fullback, not fullback, centre back injured, Fofana. Then Kante's injured, another midfielder. Broja, our supposed to be bench striker, is injured. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, another midfielder, is injured. And then Pulisic and Sterling, 2 wingers, are injured. And that's our better players. A lot of them are.
Hey. We need another. We need another center back into that injury list to have a full 11. Like it's
Yeah,
it is a factor.
literally
Like
have full 11 people
Mendy's injured.
Yeah,
Mendy's injured too.
Said Mendy, our goalkeeper. Yeah.
it's like there's a big factor in there. I'm not gonna say that's the whole reason. I mean. Let me read these comments and then we'll talk about the game a little more. But like some of you guys in the back said some of these comments. Let's see what they are.
Scooby-Doo, I don't defend the starting front 3. I don't defend it.
Yeah.
If he start those in Premier League, I will be pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a
Potter,
FA Cup that I wanted us to go out, so I'm not as upset about it.
You know the only thing I criticize?
Potter, go ahead.
I was going to say,
then
like,
I'll read
Potter
these
should have
quotes.
named, because we saw how good Chukwuemeka looked good against Man City last game. I thought he should have played him this game, started him this time.
Maybe, but you know what they say,
Well,
man. Mace
let's-
likes to
let's
play, bro. Mace likes to play, and maybe that's why I don't know.
Mace. we'll come back. We'll come back to that because I do want to talk about what differences you guys would have made to the starting 11. But Potter here with some comments. This is probably the worst opponent you can play when things aren't going well because they can make it look like you are not trying. Another quote.
Tell me
I
about
don't get it. I don't get a sense of poor attitude. I think there's support in the dressing room. Another one from Potter. The challenge is not feel sorry for ourselves. It's to not feel sorry. And then Ahmed, you had Khalidou Koulibaly here with another comment. It's tough times and we're aware of it. We have to stick together and work hard to get out of this. I believe we can do it. I believe in this team. Well, I mean, you would want him to say that. But
Finally, Texas Blue 24 said something smart.
what'd he say? Yeah, I wasn't bothered by the result. If we drop points,
We're dropping points against Fulham. Come on, guys, let's go.
Mitrovic is not playing.
Doesn't
Is he
matter.
not?
He's
No,
not.
that
He's
does-
on
that-
20
that
yellows.
does matter.
William,
That does.
Alex, William is coming back, bro. William is
William
gonna
is
be-
coming
If we-
back.
if we can't-
Where
if
is
we
he
can't
coming back?
defend
William
against
Where is he coming back?
listen,
Is he coming back for his
William-
hair?
William ain't doing shit. Okay.
He
Bro,
shouldn't do.
you know,
So
to be
basically,
honest,
look,
I
you know,
think,
the
bro,
only thing we should be afraid of William if we put somebody on the near post from his corners, because that's the only person should be worried because he's gunning after him. With those corners that he takes,
So
the only person should be worried. It's the guy that closes the closed post. The rest of them are fine.
Listen, man, I'm keeping it real. I can see Fulham doing Fulham. I can see us.
I can see Fulham doing it,
Yeah,
but I
Yeah.
just tell you, it's
I'm just
I just give you a little bit of hope. Mitrovic is
listen, Alex. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm
yeah.
just
That is
Yeah.
some hope.
I'm just giving.
That's
William
all we
the
have
bit.
to hold on to. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Andrew started talking. Hello, Andrew.
Hello,
Big
man.
up, Andrew.
William ain't doing shit. Don't even try it. Yeah, jeez.
Bro,
Oh,
if
no,
William
Ahmed
ends
thought
up
that you're gonna
scoring, I'm
support
coming
him.
back.
Ahmed thought that you're gonna help him.
No, I ain't happening with William, man. Trust me. No.
Listen,
Yeah.
talk to me, Andrew. What are you saying, man? How you feeling about all of this in general, man?
I'm completely fine. I'm with Alex, man. I don't care about this result. I really don't. I want us to be. Listen, as soon as we get to 40 points on once a week football, I'm done to the summer. Do you know what I mean? As soon as we get knocked out of the Champions League, I'm done. Once a week football is good. This team does not deserve to be in cups. That was the whole thing protecting them. Now they can't even do anything in cups. This team can't even do anything in cups anymore. That's what I mean. That's what got them off the hook last season with the cup runs. They go out to Dortmund, which they could do. They could get knocked out by Dortmund. Let's be serious. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think Dortmund are the best, but neither are we, so we can't really put anything on that. But you know, and people go, "Oh man, you should want your team to win every game." Dude, this team doesn't deserve it. It doesn't deserve it. It does not deserve it. And can I just say, all those people that were going about the starting lineup, why is he starting him? Why is he starting him? First of all, it's a cup game. You knew he was going to rotate. We played on Thursday. We've got a Thursday and Sunday game coming up, okay? And we've got multiple injuries, all right? The changes are always going to happen. The problem is like me, this, I keep saying, and Alex said as well, this squad is crap. So the people coming in are not good enough. So that's why.
Did you expect Fofana to pull the shirt and the Kabam signed like with the shirt and play today? Did anybody expected him?
I didn't.
I
No.
was hoping he would.
Exactly.
I don't,
So if you
yeah,
didn't expect him to play, but he had to play, it tells you exactly how bad his bench is.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If
True.
you thought,
And the guy with no neck, he's like, I'm afraid to go in the field. And I'm the 6'10" motherfucker in this team.
that's true.
I mean, part of me kind of wanted us to get this win just because I feel that it's one of the few things that Potter could do to buy himself some time, which is win something. With Arteta, when he was starting off at Arsenal, he managed to win himself an FA Cup, bought himself a little bit of credibility and time.
No. That's
FA
the problem
Cup
we're
is
having.
going to bring us to Europa.
That's the problem we're having now. Because these players won a European Cup, which I will never turn down, that's what's papered over the cracks and built these players up to something which they're not. Okay, I don't want these players as a collective winning anything because it will paper over the cracks again and it'll be slower getting them out. We are a year and a half behind of what we should be because we won the European Cup because it glossened over everything. Okay,
I don't disagree, but I'm not trying to like give the players time. I'm trying to get Potter some time because right now there's some pretty volatile people in the fan base that already want Potter out. He hasn't even had a win though.
Can I just say the fans are stupid, yeah. The away fans today were stupid singing Tuchel's name. So I'll tell you why.
That's true too. That was disrespectful.
Oh, that
Probably
was
about
peak.
probably about 90% of them were questioning Tuchel when we lost 2-1 to Southampton.
Yeah,
Questioning when we lost 3-0.
No, but this actually shows that that's not a Tuchel problem. That's player problem.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, are you mad? Are you mad? You're not forgetting how these guys were playing under Tuchel.
Yeah.
I don't look.
Man, it seems like, bro, people forgot what happened after the Real Madrid loss. Like, what
Pretty
happened?
bad.
What happened, bro?
Look. As much as I like Tuchel and I miss Tuchel, and I think he
Yeah,
would have
same.
done better, even with that team, he would have done better. I agree.
Mhm.
But I don't think it will be top 4 done better.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
wouldn't be,
think-
we wouldn't be in the top 4. We wouldn't be in the top
Yeah.
4.
No,
I think it will be like in the Europa and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but the
top
problem,
8.
Yeah. But the problem is, it's the same problem with the players. He would
Yes.
have the same problem with the players.
Yeah.
So if you don't believe me that, what time when the players turned on Tuchel and what time did the Tuchel
I think
start
it's
to
Leicester
fall down?
for Tuchel. I think it's like no, that's Lampard. I'm thinking of.
Nah, they
fucking-
checked
I was
out.
going to say Leicester again.
They
well,
checked
Tuchel.
out-
I can't even tell.
they checked out
Since
after
the
Real-
December,
they
since
checked
the
out.
last.
They checked out after Real Madrid game properly. They properly checked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. No, I'm saying we started to drop points in the league. We start to play poorly in the league.
Yeah. I think
Since the
maybe
December when the Reece James was injured and Tuchel
Yeah.
was injured.
Yeah,
That's when we
I was
started
going to say
dropping.
that's when
Everyone-
yeah.
What is actually happening right now?
Remember, these guys gave up a these guys at the end of last season gave up a double-digit point lead over Tottenham
Yeah.
and Arsenal. We should have had that third place sewn up with 6 or 7 weeks to go in the league. No,
Yeah.
it waited to nearly the second to last game to be mathematically assured of getting that third place. This is what
Exactly.
these guys are. These guys are the mentality. And you know what? I go as a collective. The mentality in this team, the leadership in this team, sucks. Yeah, and that goes to all the ones you back, to even like Thiago Silva and stuff like that. He has to take accountability as well because he's supposed to be a leader and something like that.
Yeah, but the guy doesn't speak English well, man.
That's the problem. That's also probably a problem as well.
I don't think because I've tried to read his
Plus, he's
lips when
39, why
he's
does
yelling,
he
and I
care?
think he's
I
yelling
think
in
he speaks
Spanish.
French as well sometimes.
But he's
Apparently
38.
he does, yeah.
What does he care? He's done it all. You know what I mean? He doesn't care. No, he's
There's no
38.
point him learning English.
Yeah,
There's no point.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, look,
I think
if
the
we
only way
didn't-
he
if-
can like go on.
I understand what Andrew's saying because if we wouldn't have won the Championship League last season before that, whatever, do you think your players like Jorginho would have stayed at the club?
No.
Players like what's the name? Do you see what I'm saying? Because
I think he
before
might.
that, Mason, what's the name? Rudiger, bench player, for Lampard. Remember that?
Yeah.
If you continue, if you will remove the Championship League run, which was great, it suited a lot of players. It
Yeah.
suited a lot of players. The tempo wise, it suited a lot of players. So what Tuchel did is remarkable. He did statue out of that shit. which was
Oh,
good
yeah.
in Europe, but not good in the Premier
But
League.
everyone conveniently forgets the league form in that season as well, don't they? It was like,
Yeah,
we had to-
I'm saying like, look, it's not only a league. The problem was the injuries.
yes.
I think he would have done better even in the league if we had no injuries problem. But
Yeah.
we had the injuries problem. So what happens was, what's his name? We would have get rid of those bunch of players at that season if we wouldn't have won. But instead of, like Andrew said, we won. So all of a sudden,
papered over
we're
the
only
cracks.
missing one player. But it wasn't.
Can I
It
just
was
say
Timo
though, I will-
Werner. Timo Werner played a lot better than the people say that he is, and I knew it
You don't need to
that
tell
he
me
played better.
But I want to say this. Right.
He
The one
missing
thing
a lot of empty nets, but
what I will say is that what I will get onto Potter is, okay, you've got to stop picking these players now that have not only let you down, but let down the previous manager especially. You've got to stop giving. Why is Mount rushed in when he's coming back from an injury right away? Why is he not on the bench? Why aren't you giving someone else an opportunity? Why do you consistently go with Havertz? Do you know what I mean? I think Gallagher today. Gallagher was a complete disaster today. I mean, that was just horrendous. Well, do you know what? I can't even single him out. There was loads of them who had a horrendous game.
look,
Today, Kovacic and Jorginho were just terrible, both of them. Koulibaly, when the kid next to him looks more assured than you, Koulibaly, you've got to look yourself in the mirror.
You see,
But I won't. I'm not going to have like people like rating down the guy who just had his first team debut. Do you know what I mean? I don't expect him. He needs to be helped. He
by
needs
the way,
to be
why is
carried.
that guy played in the centre back? And
That's what I mean. I don't get it. Why is Chalobah playing right back? He should be playing centre back. He's not.
What about the other guy played the right centre back when we went to back three?
Humphrey, or Lewis Bates.
Lewis
Hall,
guy with
sorry.
No.
Oh.
What? Bashir Humphreys.
Yeah, wasn't he not? He's not a centre back.
No, people thought he's playing right back.
I thought
Yeah,
he
I thought Humphreys was a right back too when I saw his name.
Wait, he wasn't a right back.
No,
No,
He played on the left side of Koulibaly.
right of a
I
center back.
swear when I looked at the lineup, it said he's right back and Chalobah's
No,
centre back.
Chalobah was playing right back.
This is what we tell people when we say we don't want Chalobah at right back against good players. This is it, right? He doesn't have that in him to be a right back. He doesn't have the athleticism to be a right back. He's a good centre back, and that's all he should be. He should be a good centre back.
The only reason why they keep on talking about the right back thing is because when he was playing for Lorient, he played there a few times. That's the only reason why people keep bringing up this right backs nonsense. Even though people forget that Alain Lorient, who was playing multiple positions, he even played CDM there, CB, and like a right back. And I think there's some more positions that he played.
look, I will be more criticizing Potter when we're playing in the league game. If he starts those run three in the league game ever,
he did it.
there's no holding back, man.
He did it before, bro.
He
I
should
know.
trust maybe
Newcastle.
I
know.
I think
Was I nice to people? No. My neighbors are catching F words everywhere I went.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
goodness.
It's
Well-
not like I'm gonna. Like I said, this game he can do whatever crap he wants to do. Whatever crap he wants to do.
Which is why, like, when that lineup came out, I was like, all right, you know what? Maybe he doesn't want to try to win this FA. I wanted him to, because, like I was saying before, but, like, maybe he just doesn't care about this FA Cup tie. Maybe he's trying to rest some players. Like, I know people were ragging on him about the
We have
lineup,
10
but, like,
10 players. We have 10 injured players. Who we
Yeah.
can rest? The
Yeah,
only
there's
rest
not
is
really
players
that much
is
you can
the-
do.
so the only one I can see him should be starting is Chukwuemeka over Mason Mount in attack. That's the only one I think I can say Potter should have done. But like the rest,
But why? Because
can't really-
Mason Mount needed
No,
more rest,
no,
or because you
no.
wanted Chukwuemeka
Mason
to?
Mount
no,
needed
but
to play
Mason
in the
Mount's not a
midfield.
good attacker. No, he's attacker with Gallagher in
That's
midfield.
what I mean.
apparently.
Like, why are we
Mason-
trying? Like,
no,
wouldn't you rather
wait.
save Chukwuemeka for a league game
League
than
game.
No, but
this
he
FA
barely
Cup game?
played last. Well, he actually did come on pretty early because of the injury, but he's barely played this season anyway in general. So he can definitely play both games and more.
I'm
You
trying
cannot-
to. Mhm.
Look,
Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
Look, you cannot just throw the name and just think it was tick like, oh, Chukwuemeka played good. So did Beshi. What's his freaking name? That
By Chile.
but no, the midfielder.
Zachary.
Oh, Zakaria.
Zakaria. Fuck.
Yeah, I would
Zakaria
kept him.
played really good one game. The first game he played started, and then he played bad next game, which was the league, not the league game. It was a cup game. Remember?
Carabao Cup.
Carabao
Yeah.
Cup.
Oh,
How did
the
he play?
Carabao Cup. I thought it's just average.
Are you
I'm not the
bothering
only one
now?
that remembers him that he had a bad game because everyone's saying, "Oh, sign him, sign him." I was like, let me wait for the rest of the season for Zakaria.
You see what
No,
I'm saying? Like
20 minutes of
doesn't make that you're right if like by saying like the kid needed to start it today. You don't. It doesn't make it right because you just said it. You know what I'm saying? Just because those front three flopped today, that doesn't mean that he should start the other guy. No, it means that those three did not play for the manager. That's it.
I just can't take Mason Mount attack.
Well, can take it. It's not a question to me if you can take it. Use a safe word next time. But
Oh my god.
It's horrible.
you walked into it. I'm sorry.
You
Yeah,
kind of
It's
did.
nasty, bro.
I thought my head
I've
went
been
in that
violated
direction.
anyway.
But
Don't worry, it doesn't matter.
my point about the whole situation is, I don't think he does when he puts the front three. I think it gives them the a freedom in front three. He doesn't restrict them. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't restrict them. You stay here, and you stay here. It's not that. I think he gives them freedom.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
think-
the biggest problem. If you give blunt mount and regular mount a freedom, they just run headless like headless chickens. That's the problem. And you add Kai Havertz to it, it's like 3 chickens running like mad.
I
But you
think,
would
Chris,
that
the
he
other
already knew
thing.
that, though. You would think that he already knew that, though. That's what I'm saying to you. Like, he's already seen that at Newcastle. So why do it now?
So the thing too with me is that, like, on to Chris's point, what he's saying, I think if I had to be generous towards Potter, there's probably the factor too of there's so many injuries happening, and if let's just say Chukwuemeka just came back from an injury not too long ago, if he gets injured again because you wanted to play him in an FA Cup game that didn't matter, you know, I think right now Potter, he's trying to save his ass by getting himself up in that league table, because right now that league table is looking really bad. He has to think about
You
that.
have to hope so, bro. You have to hope so. But
When are
even
we
then,
playing next? Thursday again?
Thursday, yeah. And then
Yeah.
Sunday.
The mighty Fulham.
Yo,
Jesus
that's what
Christ.
this is come
You
to.
should use that as a safe word.
The mighty Fulham. Oh my God. But like, I think he has to take into consideration injuries, Chris, which is why maybe you don't play a Chucky. You save him.
I did call out the injuries like that.
He's playing
like,
Mason
that's why
Mount. He's playing Mason Mount.
Yeah,
Thursday,
but,
so
yeah,
it
that's,
doesn't really
that's what I
matter.
mean. Like Mason Mount just came from an injury and he
If
started
Mason
it.
plays Thursday, I'm gonna cry.
He's
No,
playing
no
Thursday,
way.
bro.
I'm
Listen,
gonna cry.
Marshall, he's playing Thursday, bro. Just accept it, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
he's
he
playing
plays
Thursday.
Thursday. The reason
and
why
Sunday,
he didn't
and
because
Sunday
he
as
was
well.
injured.
Yeah. And Sunday.
Does
too.
no one show like Potter the tapes? Like, hey man, we played really well when Mason didn't play this, and then the
Maybe
other ones.
somebody does. He just watches through 3D glasses.
The problem is, yeah, I don't know. Does Potter have the balls, yeah, to do what he needs to do? That's the question.
No.
But that's the other thing too that bothers me, Ahmed. If the ownership is coming out and saying we're gonna back you, we trust Potter can turn it around, all this
and
stuff,
that prime,
then why don't you take the risk if your job is really that safe?
And if he's been made personal promises as well, yeah. Let's not forget this. If he's been made personal promises that
Maybe
you know, listen,
maybe he's not playing Chukwuemeka because he's actually going to play him against Fulham. No one ever thought about that.
well,
That's what I'm
listen,
saying. That's partially what
Yeah.
I'm saying to
Maybe,
avoid
maybe,
the injury. You know.
And maybe he
But let's be
thought,
realistic, man.
and maybe let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. If he thought his job was on the line, there's no way he's playing what's his face in centre back. Yeah. What I don't know. I can't remember his name. The kid. Bradshaw.
Yeah,
please know your
It
names.
begins with a H.
Yeah, I
It begins with a
don't
H.
know. I don't know him. I didn't even know he played.
Denzel
for Chelsea
Humphrys.
before he
He's
started.
literally unknown. He's unknown. I don't even know where he actually plays before.
I don't even know his position, so I don't know if it is centre back or not. So, and
I don't
frankly,
think-
I don't care. But if Potter thought after coming off that, you know, he was taking the FA Cup seriously or something like that, I don't think he plays that kid at the back at all. I think he brings in Balotelli or he plays Thiago Silva again. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's another factor. Yeah, if he wanted to
don't
win
think-
this tie, probably would have started Thiago Silva.
yeah, exactly. So why? What? I don't know why people are getting so bent out of shape of today's lineup. You know,
I don't know.
I have to read this.
I'm
Declare,
not
thank
the
you so
one.
much for the
I know.
thank
you're
you so
not
much for
one.
the $10 super chat, brother. I appreciate it. Declared $10 super chat. Why should we trust Potter to get a lot of his players? We ended up in this position from buying a range of players from managers that didn't last. Alex Eno, in my opinion, I'm opening a flower store with all these flowers. What?
He's addressing me.
You'll be out of business then. You ain't getting any flowers from us.
The only flower shop you open is your butt cheek for the cactus.
Jesus Christ.
If you've got,
Oh
hang on,
my
if you've got a flower store, doesn't that mean you're giving flowers?
Exactly. I thought you speak English down there, man.
It's opposite line. It's down under, man. It's opposite. Below the equator line, it's different, man. You know what I mean? All good.
But the thing though with Declared, like with this comment too, like how can you trust that he won't do better with new players? Like it goes both ways. Like you could say like, oh, how could we trust that he's gonna get these players and that he's gonna improve the team? How would you know that it's not going to improve the team? How would you know that he's not gonna get his players? You know,
And people go like,
there's a whole team now.
Look what he's done for like, and you can say what you say about the levels of Brighton, and I understand there's different levels, right? Look what he's done for McAllister. Man was a 10, he's put him into a 6/8 role, and he's been outstanding for that. He's won a World Cup. Okay, he's turned different players into, you know. Look at Trossard. Trossard rated highly. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and you go, well, it's Brighton, man. We're Chelsea. It's like, dude, we can't just go by our name anymore. Do you know what I mean? Our name is what we are only going by anymore, because underneath the hood of this car, there's no frigging engine, man. We are Flintstones cars at the moment. Do you know what I mean? We are literally, there's no wheels, there's no engine. We're using our feet to drive this. Do you know what I mean? We are in need of rejuvenation. Do you know what I mean?
I hope the new owners, bro, can wake
People
up.
think that the actual Potter signs those players.
Yeah.
No, we actually have a person that signs the players. From now on,
Vivell.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Guys
he's trying to
not
get
here.
And
Thuram
people
now,
rate
bro.
Vivell, right? Like, I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm hearing he's trying to get Thuram, bro.
Why people complaining? That's not who's signing the players for.
people rate
think,
all the. People rate a lot of the players that Brighton brought over. Trossard, they want Trossard. They're twerking for Caicedo. They twerked for Cucurella. All these players. This is the same team that's coming to Chelsea now.
I mean,
Listen,
if you poll Chelsea fans in the summer, how many of them wanted Basuma? A lot.
Yeah, that too.
A lot.
Forgot about
right?
that.
Yeah, a lot. So, listen.
By the way, where's the other defensive midfielder that is good that we want from Brighton?
Caicedo.
Caicedo.
Oh, McAllister and
No,
Caicedo,
McAllister
yeah.
is not a defensive midfielder. By the way, I don't want McAllister. We have Mason Mount, same thing.
Listen, all I'm saying, bro, I don't want
Disrespect to McAllister.
I
but-
know.
All I'm saying, these new guys want Marcus Thuram.
Oh my days! I do not rate
I
Thuram.
don't know who he
Black
is.
Timo Werner. Black Timo Werner, bro.
Well, he played for Borussia Mönchengladbach
Black
for a hot minute,
Timo
right,
Werner.
Thuram?
That's what he is, bro.
That's where I remember him from. And I'm like,
Why you know Moana? Do you have kids?
Huh? No.
How do you know
Moana.
Moana?
What?
How do you know Moana? Do you have kids?
Me? I don't have any kids. No, I don't have any kids.
Why?
No? So
Why should this manager? Yeah, I agree partly that they should show ability, but when these players have turned on, or not played well under a better manager in everyone's eyes in Tuchel, then why are you expecting him to come in then and do anything properly with his players? Let's just say I know Alex. I saw Alexander Terrace. He was discussing it too. There was little bits and pieces in midfield, the playing and passing, one touch passing, and Mason Mount messed up the move. But let's face it, I don't think some of these players can do that type of football.
Yeah.
You know, I
that's
don't
the
think they've got it in
fact.
them to do it.
That's the
They're
fact.
not technically good enough. They're not technically good enough to do what they need to do.
No. They're technically good enough, but the specific style, specific way, it's hard to change.
Yeah.
It's like, look, sometimes you remember the days when to get married, you had to have the biggest stick. You had to knock her out quicker and get it into your own cave. Back in the days, that's how you used to. Now times are changing, and now you have to bring her flowers. Maybe you should ask Dick Claire, see if he has a good flowers at his shop. You see what I'm saying?
Marshall.
Like time is changing.
Marshall, the biggest gamble is that if it doesn't work out and you're stuck with a lot of players that we can't get rid of, the club will be set back for season. We're already doing that.
Look,
We're already been in this situation for years,
Declared.
It's really no difference. Like, that's why I'm like confused, because like in my head I'm thinking like, do people really think that if we had stuck with Tuchel, things would have been very different? Like, we were already kind of going down this path anyways. Like,
no, that's completely wrong way to look at it. Again, I repeat, maybe down under. I've declared you and me are actually, how you say it? We actually want the team to be played the same way, and I don't think there's as many bad players in this team as people think, and we could use transition kind of slowly to adjust. But this is just happens of the as a bandage because of one thing: the 10 starting 11 injuries declared. 10 starting 11 injuries. That's why this process is gonna be ripped quicker than the process you wished for. I understand that you're saying that the Tuchel is what's the name? It would have been different. It would have been different. But at the end of the day, you're still gonna be replacing the same players. I promise you. You're gonna be replaced. It's just slowly gonna be replaced. That's one thing. Another thing. It doesn't matter now that if you will fire Potter at the end of the season, that does not mean that those players are going to be stuck under new manager. You know why? Because Potter wasn't the one that actually signed him. Vivell did. And Vivell is going to look for the manager that he has already players in for. I hope this message got to you down under. Put it into your flower shop.
But the other thing too is that at least the difference between
we're not getting Mourinho after Potter. You see what I'm saying? That's the biggest problem is if you don't get what's his name? Sam Allardyce after this, you have no problem.
It's not that, is it? It's trying to. Chelsea have never had a philosophy.
No.
On the Roman Abramovich in terms of playing style, right? Never had. Well, let's say this: we've been good defensively. I'll give it that. We've been good defensively, right? Usually,
we tried, but never had the patience.
We tried, but we couldn't find the balance. You're right. Didn't have the patience. Even under Mourinho in his second spell, that 14-15, where we were playing great football, but we were leaking too many goals apparently, and then we went back to ultra defensive. Even on this first season, the first 2 seasons, we were playing great football, and then we went ultra defensive. But that's what I think people have to understand. It's like, players aren't bought by the manager. He's consulted about them, whoever the manager is at the time. Will it suit the style of play and the philosophy? Stuff like that. And when the manager goes, then what the club should be looking for is that same person who believes in the same philosophy of whatever it is we're trying to build. Okay? I don't know what the philosophy is yet because I don't know yet. I can't see a philosophy with these players at this moment in time.
That's the problem with you declared. You think that mass exodus is gonna be like adding a problem to it. Where? What mass exodus?
Keyshawn, thank you so much. This is exactly what I was going to say. The difference between what we used to do versus what we're doing now is that maybe we're getting a lot of players now that are young, talent and all that stuff, scouting. We're buying a bunch of these players, but at the end of the day, what's 8 million versus losing 80 million on Romelu Lukaku? Like, it's pennies for these guys. So it's so much easier to get rid of these talents than it is to get the ones that flop.
Bro,
And look at how we moved in the summer. How much deadwood did we get rid of?
I'm just gonna be real. We're not making any money back on Lukaku. If you've seen him this season, bro, and the last
it's bad,
bro. If you make 10, 20 million off of him, bro, yo, that's looking like a bargain, man.
No, we will literally just cancel his contract. I promise you. That will be. I don't think. Look, and I don't think we're gonna take a loss on it. I think at the end of the day, we're gonna give him some money, and he will cancel the contract.
Plus, if you think about it, everyone's going, we're going to lose so much money. Think about the summer we bought him, 97.5 million, and we sold over 100 million worth of talent, right? So in essence, we didn't actually really spend anything on Lukaku. It's just his contract, essentially. That's draining him. I don't know how much Inter Milan are paying part of that contract, but part of his wages.
Which team succeeded with an unpopular manager? They all unpopular at some point.
Yeah.
Jurgen
I mean, look at Arteta right
Jurgen
now.
Klopp, what's the name? He was on the rise. He wasn't finished product as a manager, and now you can see that he's dropping. So
Yeah.
pick and choose. You see what I'm saying? They all coming from something. Even
Let
Ten
me tell
Hag.
you,
What
man.
did Ten Hag did?
Hey, let me tell you, the first few weeks and month of Tuchel, bulk of Chelsea fans didn't want Tuchel, so they still hung up on Lampard. You know what I
I
mean?
didn't.
They
want
thought he
Tuchel,
would
but-
have a falling out with
that's
the
not
board.
it. I didn't want Lampard in the first place. I want him out in the second place. I didn't want Lampard nowhere near Chelsea because I didn't think he was ready. Number two, I didn't want Tuchel either in the beginning because I didn't think Tuchel and Roman Abramovich will ever work. The two high-powered people.
Yeah.
I didn't think it's actually gonna work. But hey, the only reason why I think Tuchel work out is because Abramovich was not allowed in England, and they never see it face to face. That's
They
the
only
only way
met
that it
in
will
the
actually
final of
work.
Champions League. The first time they met.
Yeah,
face to
final of the
Yeah,
Champions
in the
League.
Champions-
First time,
face.
Yeah,
One hell of a
him
way to
winning
make a
trophies
first
was,
impression.
Yeah.
probably-
Oh,
Exactly.
here you are, boss. Here's what I've done on my first meeting. I brought you to European.
yeah.
Chelsea is not the place to develop a manager. This ain't it. You could be right. I'm not saying
You
you're
could be
wrong.
right, Scooby, but also
what I'm trying to tell you, you should not look Harry Potter as the finished product at Chelsea with this regime.
Mhm.
It could be he gets us to a specific areas with those young players, and then we go for the different manager, let's say. But it won't be a Mourinho style. It won't be a counter-attacking style. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't go. This is what's the problem with Abramovich. Even I had, and I love Abramovich. But when he fired the manager, he get the completely opposite manager, and that was the biggest problem. I think it's more on, for example, people saying trust the process. I don't think it's about the players as much process. It's more about the managers, consistently same style managers. That's the process we never had at Chelsea. We tried with AVB, with Mourinho, but the problem was when those kind of results like we had with Potter right now, you lost 7 out of 10. Abramovich did not have patience. The helicopters landing in the training ground.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's the only difference. You never know what AVB would have done if he would have waited and they didn't get sacked. We probably could be relegated. That's what Abramovich was worried about. Or it could be the same thing with Mourinho.
Everyone forgets of AVP. He was mandated to get the older players out, right?
Yeah,
And then halfway
And then-
through, the management abandoned him.
yeah.
They abandoned him because it wasn't working. Yeah, and that's what happened. But this one, it looks like, and no matter what people say, they're back in Potter at least.
What does
for
Chelsea
this
pattern of play? 4-4-3. Fucking one.
back in
4-4-2
Potter
for one,
at least for this season. Probably going to give him the summer window as well. This time next time this year, if he survives, and we're like this, probably even before that, then he won't be there. I believe he won't.
Yeah,
be
exactly. 100% what
So-
Andrew's saying.
I just think it's a waste of time. People like screaming Tuchel's name, ironically, you know, and it's
So
and
strange.
Roman Abramovich's name. Can I just say, guys, you know, you may not like how they're doing things so far. These guys saved this club, okay? This guy saved this
Wow,
club.
there's
They
a
did
plenty
save
of
the club.
plenty of people that could save the club.
Well, I'd rather have them than
There's
the
a lot of
Ricketts in
them,
America.
but
I'd rather have them
Yeah,
than the
yeah,
Ricketts. Yeah.
The Ricketts, man, I could stay
Listen,
away.
you know what it
Yeah,
is?
rather than-
I would
Can
took the
just say,
Saudis,
one
but
thing I will
that's
say,
impossible.
one thing I will say, is that I think people need to move on. I know like this is Tuchel is not that big man, okay? This is not like so you moving over your parents' death, you know, or like someone that's close to you is death, okay? Like that approach can take time, all right? But this guy's gone, bro. He's not dead, all right? Your club, the club that you still support, is meant to be your main thing here. Yeah,
I think
you
one
live
of
and
your
die by the
keys
mistake.
got stuck. Declared one of your keys on the keyboard got stuck.
Actually, man.
No, but like people forget, like even in preseason this season, people were saying Tuchel out. They were chanting and raving Tuchel out during the preseason. So it's this weird
Tuchel
revisionist history.
style. Tuchel.
You tell me, man.
Yeah.
Remember my little picture as well? They actually got.
That's
Yeah, like,
crazy.
A lot of Twitter,
And they
like,
got
yeah, like,
a little beard as well.
was
you
saying
know?
Tuchel out.
You can laugh.
And
You
now-
can
Yeesh,
laugh.
and now
Assad,
they're
you
talking about how-
harsh, Assad.
Because you can laugh. You can laugh and use. You can laugh and say save the club. Look at the options we had bidding for us. We had some Saudi guys who didn't. There was no proof of them had any funds to begin with. Yeah, and there was.
Oh, they had proof.
well, I
It's
think
just
they-
Boris Johnson wasn't approving it of those
exactly.
proof.
So it was going to happen, and it was going to be them. It was going to be Bodie's group or the Ricketts. And if you see what the Ricketts have done with their sporting franchise, then you'll be glad you had Bodie. Do you know what I mean? This is all still people butthurt about Tuchel, like it's their girlfriend or something that's dumped them and they can't get over it.
You guys, like people in the chat, you guys were twerking for Bowley in the summer. You were like, "Oh, I'm liking all that. We got Sterling, got Obama." Yeah, you were all excited about it. And I know when things don't work out, Chalobah, you were all excited about it. But when things don't work out, then you start fucking flipping the other coin, being a little two-faced here. The other side of the fucking face shows up, and all of a sudden you're all upset, which reasonably so. I think all of us here are upset with the state of affairs of Chelsea.
Let's go back to Mourinho and Czech. Mourinho and Czech, God!
The people who wanted to keep Romelu Lukaku.
Exactly, they want to keep Lukaku for another season. Let's see if
those are stories. I don't believe those.
Well, I'm just saying, man. Well, no, because it's all about ego, isn't it? It's all about ego in the boards. You know what I mean? They.
Yeah, we know how Marina is. We saw it with Kepa.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I have
Tough
to
times
bounce.
for Chelsea.
So,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna end it anyways. It's getting this has been a fantastic stream. Big up to you, Ahmed. Big up to Chris. I almost called you Viali. Jesus Christ, Andrew. Rest in peace, Viali, by the way. But big up to the Winter Surfer, Kai, Alex, everyone who joined today. Guys, smash that like button. 35 of you watch. We're only at 22 likes. I went ahead and gave you guys a vote, a poll to vote on, and I think 37% of you said Mount was the worst player, but Havertz is up there. It was pretty close. You guys are pretty spread even on that one.
Did you see how many touches Kovacic didn't have today?
He had 8 touches today.
He had 8 touches. Kovacic in a game had 8.
Yeah, 8 touches. Havertz had 12 in the first
Mount
half.
had 8 touches?
Mason Mount
Kovacic.
had 8 in 72
Remember
minutes.
when they complained about Lukaku? The striker had 7 touches in the game, was it?
Just blows my mind how a striker, a shitty one at that, in this game, in the form of Havertz, has more touches than
Havertz
Mason
had
Mount
more,
in the midfield. So it is what it is. But
He was
ladies and
literally a
gents,
living ghost today.
smash those like buttons, subscribe if you're new to the channel, hit the bell notification, don't miss any of our future streams. We'll be back, I believe, Wednesday. We'll talk about Chelsea transfer news and all that stuff, and then we'll talk about the game on Thursday afterwards. There might be another stream in between there too. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But guys, make sure you're checking out the links in the description as well, and as always, stay casual. Peace.